Go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the very first edition of Stand Up TV. My name is Alex, a Zumi store manager, coming from you live from my mall here in Lakeland, Florida.
What's up, y'all? This is Garfield, also a Zumi store manager coming to you live from my store in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Alex, I'm super excited to be live in the store with you, my man. How are things in Florida?
And if I could summarize it in one word, very humid. We're finally getting some rain and some good heat, and I'm feeling really good down here. How's everything up in Georgia?
Everything is good over here. We're pretty upset that Atlanta lost to the Eastern Conference Finals, but I mean, we're good. We're good over here. So, Alex, tell our audience what exactly is Stand Up TV?
That's a really good question, Garfield. For all of you watching, Stand Up TV is a monthly live stream about all things Zumi stand-up. All of you watching will have the chance to test your news knowledge and win prizes. And you heard correctly, prizes. As we show you how your vote back in November is shaping what's going on in the world today, we'll have discussions with Voto Latino and Rock the Vote and interviews with some brands raising their voices. In addition, for everybody on the Discord, we want to hear what you are all doing in your community. Every month, we'll feature one of you on the show and hook you up with a Zumi's gift card.
Woo! Drop in the chat and tell us what you're standing up for in your community. We might have a few surprises for you if you do. A bit later in the show, we got Camille Martin from Voto Latino joining us to help break down a few of the biggest news stories directly connected to your vote. We also got Rob Smith, founder of the Phluid project, and Bo from Matters Help People two of our newest brands at Zoomies. Tell us about their brands and what they're standing up for.
Right now, I'll go first. No?
We'll be right back to test your news knowledge. Don't go anywhere, guys. Hey everybody, we're back. Did you miss us? We missed you. Garfield, what time is it?
Yo, Alex, it's time to test your news knowledge with our news quiz. Do you know the news? Here's how this is going to work. We have a bunch of trivia from this week's news for you all to answer. Drop your answer in the chat, and we will pick one of the correct answers at random to win. Alex, what could they win?
If you guess the right answer, and you got a pretty good shot at winning a $25 Zoomies gift card.
All right, let's get rolling. Here's the first question. Which pop star is heading tonight's Pride concert on the new streaming network Peacock? Hint, she came in like a wrecking ball.
That's how I would want to enter a show. That's how I would want to enter the show.
Exactly.
Just come in like a wrecking ball. It's like, all right. Oh my goodness. All right, Garfield.
All right, just making sure. So, the correct answer is Miley Cyrus. And basically, the story behind all that, Miley Cyrus' Pride concert will feature special guests, award-winning artists and LGBTQ allies brothers Osborne, Mickey Guyton, Little Big Town, Maren Morris, and Orville Peck, who will join Cyrus for memorable performances and deliver a night of live music and creative collaboration in celebration of Pride. Cyrus has long spoken about LGBTQ rights and founded the Happy Hippie Foundation.
So, we got to announce our winner.
Yes. So our winner is
Miley's bisexual.
Okay. So our winner is P Silent 16. You just won a $25 Zoomies gift card, dude. Woo!
Congratulations. Let's go. It sounds
There
like
we go.
sounds like Miley Cyrus is going to be quite the show for a headline, Garfield.
There we go. Yes, of course.
So it looks like I've got the next question. What is the name of the newly highly contagious coronavirus variant in the U.S. that is potentially deadlier for young unvaccinated people? I'll give you guys a hint as well. It's named after a major airline. Do we think we've got a solid answer? The answer is going to be Delta. I'll say the story. While the pandemic continues to get better across most of the country, the spread of the highly contagious Delta variant among the unvaccinated could pose a new public threat, warned President Joe Biden and the head of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention on Friday. So this is some pretty big recent news, Garfield. The good news is that if you are vaccinated, you're good to go because the new variant is still covered by the vaccines. And without further ado, we're going to announce who just answered that question correctly.
Yes, I got you, Alex. And the winner for that is Live X Lopez. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Live X Lopez. You just won a $25 Zoomies gift card. Woo! There we
Let's
go.
go.
All right, so
Congratulations.
there we go. So next up, third question. All right. How many anti-LGBTQ bills have passed in state legislators this year? If no one guesses the exact number, you will take the closest guess. Hint, it's more than 5, but less than 35.
Yeah, that's a pretty big wide variety. Garfield, I'm terrible at these games personally.
Okay, keep the answers going. That's what's up. Okay. All right, on to the correct answer. The answer is 17. Boom, and going off from the story on that too, an unprecedented number of anti-LGBTQ measures are moving through state legislators across the country. 2021 has officially surpassed 2015 as the worst year for anti-LGBTQ legislation in recent history, with the 17th anti-LGBTQ bill acted into law in Montana last month. And the winner for that is Bold Narwhal. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly too. Yes, you are the winner. You just won a $25 Zoomies gift card.
Dude, these viewers are extremely credible.
Yes, they know the answer. Wow, that's amazing.
Let's go. All right, so we're moving on into the next question. Question number 4. Who are the 2 professional athletes who came out and shared their identities this week? I'll give you guys a hint. Now pay very close attention to this one. One plays soccer and the other plays football. And believe it or not, those are 2 different sports. Let's go ahead and get some answers going on in the chat. Garfield, they're like, we know they're 2 different sports. You didn't have to say that. I just said it. Just
I'm with you on that one, Alex.
All right, guys. So the answer is going to be, Kumi Yokoyama and Carl Nassib. Shout out to whoever gets that answer. We'll announce that here shortly. Let's get into the topic in detail. So Japanese soccer player Kumi Yokoyama said that they are transgender. This follows Carl Nassib, who is the first active NFL player who come out as gay. The president tweeted at both of them saying, "I'm so proud of your courage. Because of you, countless kids around the world are seeing themselves in a new light today." That's awesome. That's so awesome. Paxton, let's share the winner who answered those questions correctly.
There we go. The winner is Little Fun Bun. You just won a $25 Zoomies gift card. That's what's up. Hey.
These guys really know their stuff.
They really do. I'm surprised. It's amazing. Okay, guys, here's the last one for everybody. All right. What court ruled Wednesday that a Pennsylvania high school violated a cheerleader's First Amendment rights when they disciplined her for writing "fuck cheer" on Snapchat while off campus and after school hours? Hint. It's also the name of a famous streetwear brand.
Oh man.
Come on, keep the answers going.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a few seconds. Okay, here we go. So the answer is the Supreme Court. Woo! Okay, the story behind that. Brandy Levi's cheerleading coaches suspended her from the team for a year after another student showed them screenshots of the Snapchat post, arguing that the post was a violation of the team's rules. In the 8-1 ruling in Levi's favor, Justice Stephen Brewer said that simply using swear words off campus meant the bar for substantially disruptive speech then. My goodness, every school in the country would be doing nothing but punishing. I guess it really doesn't matter who is on the Supreme Court. Although we don't vote them in, who we vote for as president controls who gets nominated, and our senators confirm them as well. And I'm going to announce the winner for that. The winner is Jantimo 105. Boom. You got another $25 Zoomies gift card. Ooh.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. Congratulations to all of our winners. That's amazing. You guys really know your stuff. Next up, we're going to be right back with Camille for our next segment, the update with Voto Latino. Garfield.
Oh, welcome to Stand Up TV, Camille. Where are you joining us from and how are you doing?
Hey y'all, I'm doing great. I'm joining from Washington, D.C. Super stoked to be on today.
We're so stoked to have you on, Camille. So on
you.
this segment, we're going to go into a deeper dive into some recent news that directly connects to all of our votes last November. Remember everyone back when we had a different president? We're going to cover 4 topics in 10 minutes. So we've got quite a bit of time to talk over this stuff. First up, after 5 years, Camille, it is finally Infrastructure Week.
It is, yeah. I'd love to explain what that means, but it's been a crazy, 6 months since we've had President Biden inaugurated into office. We've seen so much legislation go through both the House and the Senate at local and state levels as well. So there's so much going on in the news. I'm so happy to be here to speak through that with you all. So Infrastructure Week, it's kind of this political joke that started up when Donald Trump was in office. We never knew if and when his administration would be serious and follow through with attempting to rebuild and restructure infrastructure. So when I say infrastructure, I mean, our power systems, our transportation systems, communication networks, energy, electric, etc. We are officially in Infrastructure Week. We last week saw a complex bipartisan bill, so bipartisan meaning that it's supported by both the Republicans and the Democrats, be brought to the Senate floor. So I'm super curious to see what comes from this week, what news headlines are, and if any movement on improving our infrastructure will happen.
Okay.
So with this bipartisan deal that you mentioned, what's kind of going on with that?
Yeah, there's so much news coverage going on it. And, just to think back more at a macro level, right? So infrastructure bills that happen and pass in the national government have a direct effect on every state, every local level government. I'm a Texas native. My family got caught in the winter storms last February pretty bad. They didn't have power for 2 weeks. There's also so much going on. Yeah, it was crazy. So many stories from that. My brother actually housed 8 of his friends in his 1-bedroom apartment. It was wild. But so, we're seeing such a direct impact that climate change is having on our infrastructure and what our needs are. I know, a lot of y'all may be joining from the Pacific Northwest right now. The heat wave over there is crazy. It is so hot here in DC. I can't even imagine what it's like over there in other parts of the country. So with this bipartisan bill, it's really addressing at a macro level, there needs to be critical reform to our infrastructure, again, being electricity, etc., all these systems that keep us functioning. This bill is the largest long-term solution to be introduced in half a century. It would really, benefit us in a lot of ways. But there's a lot of news coverage right now going on that, this bill doesn't include enough to really address the root causes of climate change and also to combat them. At Voto Latino, we're really critical of this. We would love to see this bill include more for the climate as well, more for families and for childcare. But really curious to see, what will come from this and what changes will happen.
Well, it seems like it's a pretty big deal. And I'm super stoked that hopefully it's going in the favor that we want it to go in. So is our government actually working again?
That's a great question.
Not to hit you with the bomb, but
no, it's interesting, right? I would say yes and no in many levels. I think anytime you get a new administration, new House and Senate in office, you'll see lots of priorities hit, especially in the first 6 months or the first year, right, that the president really wanted to focus on. So yes, it is, but there's a lot to be done still on the democracy side of things and making sure that people's votes aren't being suppressed or restricted as well. Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's to hoping. And going on, did our votes last November really impact this legislation in your opinion?
I think so. I mean, we're seeing so much movement. We had the American Rescue Plan pass in March. It really provided direct aid during, when COVID was so bad for so many of us and for our broader nation. It really, this package got us vaccines, it got us some relief checks and much needed support from the government. I think our votes really, they worked. We saw youth voter turnout specifically just be so big and so important in so many key states. At Voto Latino, we were able to register over 617,000 people to vote. We mobilized over 3.9 million low propensity or first-time voters, which was just phenomenal. I think there's just so much newfound energy and passion for voting. Like, voting is cool, I'd argue. I know that's kind of sus for me to come on the street and be like, voting is cool, but it is. Like, I am telling you, it is cool. You can see so much change happen. And voting isn't just limited to that one-time action, right? I think to be civically engaged and involved, it's important to keep up with the news, to listen to podcasts in the morning, to read up on what's happening. And super stoked that Zoomies has this platform for us to just talk about the news. It's really awesome.
Well, it's fun. Wow. There's a lot going on, and it's stoked that we're making changes. With that being said, I'm going to pass this on to Garfield.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. And piggyback off of you, man. I just want to let you know, Camille, you are truly inspiring. I love it. I got the next topic. Camille, can you tell us about the voting rights bill that Biden is trying to pass?
Yeah. Okay. This is really interesting. It's the For the People Act. John Lewis, he was a representative out in Georgia. He marched on Selma. He was super instrumental to voting rights more broadly and generally. So it's a bill that's really intended to make it easier for Americans to vote. And by Americans, I mean all Americans who are citizens, who are above the age of 18, who are eligible to vote. It will really reform campaign finance laws that we see. It'll curb gerrymandering, so the way seats are drawn for your representatives. It'll also really, put a stop to these voter suppression measures that we're seeing in so many states. I will talk about Texas again, as much as I love Florida and Georgia, where y'all are at, just because I'm from there. But at Voto Latino, we're actually, suing the state of Texas for a bill it just passed, Senate Bill 111, and it's being really restrictive, right? It's not allowing for folks who've recently changed their address to register to vote. We see it as an issue, as it really, it's hard on students, right? If I couldn't use my university address to vote in my university town. So, we're seeing so many of these bills that are making voting more difficult happen in Georgia, in Texas, in so many other states, that this federal level For the People Act will put a stop to this. And again, we'll just streamline voting and make sure it's accessible to all eligible Americans.
Wow, that is beautiful. And I'm guessing the update on that is going really good, huh?
Yes and no. That is a tricky question, right? There's something called the filibuster that actually put this bill to a halt. So happy to speak to that more. But if you're for the People Act, we welcome you to learn more about it on our website, votolatino.org. You can go on our Get Involved tab and use our email tool to contact your representative and your senator to tell them that you're for it. Use your voice. But yeah, this is why it's so important to keep up with the news. Passing a bill this big would mean so much for everyone, right? So
exactly.
See what happens, yeah.
Wow, I love it. All right, so I'm gonna pass it on to Alex.
And I'm gonna pass it right back to you to get on with our last question for Camille.
Okay. So definitely.
Dodgeball. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. So I love how you mentioned filibuster, Camille. What are the arguments for it? And what about it? What's against it?
Yeah, so I will immediately come out and say that myself and the organization I work at, Voto Latino, we are for abolishing the filibuster. The filibuster is this Jim Crow relic, people call it, that was started in the Senate in 1806. It was a measure for senators to block the debate and passage of legislation that, you know, traditionally has been deemed as more progressive. So the Senate Republicans have pulled the filibuster card and they stopped the discussion of the For the People Act. The only way for important legislation such as this to move forward is to abolish this archaic, this old, this racially rooted, you know, measure that the Senate has used for so many years. So similar to if, you know, you want to join Voto Latino in advocating for the passage of the For the People Act to make voting easier, you can head to our website too and use our tool to, you know, let your senator know how eager you are to see the filibuster go. So, you know, if even if you want to keep up with how it's going, we're always tweeting and posting Instagram stories and grid posts and Facebook messages about what's happening. So be sure to follow us at Voto Latino on all social platforms, and we'll be sure to keep you updated on the filibuster and also on like where that's at and also where the For the People Act is at as well.
Yeah, you hear
That's
that, guys?
super awesome.
There we go.
All right, guys. So we are basically closing in on the last part. So that's going to be the update with Voto Latino. Camille, thank you so much for giving us so much insight. I'm going to open up one more question for you. Is there anything that you'd like to say to our audience before you go?
Yeah, keep up on the news. It's cool to know what's going on. Get vaccinated if you haven't already, and keep up with us on social. Thank you all for having me so much. Like, really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Camille. Guys, we'll be right back with two of Zumi's newest brands, the Phluid Project and Mad as Hell People. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I'm
Voting
excited.
is sexy.
And we're back again, viewers. I'm very excited to introduce our special guests. We've got Rob Smith, the founder of the Phluid Project, and we've got Bo from Mad as Hell People. Thank you both so much for joining us today. Would you mind briefly introducing yourselves and your brands to our audience? We're going to start with you, Rob.
Sure, I'll go first. Thank you for having us. My name is Rob Smith. My pronouns I use are he, they, and I am the CEO and founder of the Phluid Project and Get Phluid. The Phluid Project is a gender-neutral clothing brand. So it's a brand that has no gender or all gender. You could say that. You know, t-shirts, whatever it is. Like anybody should wear whatever they want to wear that makes them feel good. So that's the beginning point. But we're also a brand that's built on activism and community and education. And that was so cool coming off of talking about voting because it all aligns. Like, you know, when you take a society and a group of people that want to make a difference in the world, your actions, your dollars, everything you do matters. So the Phluid Project is like a beacon of hope of a queer-owned business, queer-centric, but not exclusively queer. And we believe that anybody should be whoever they want to be. And we built a company with pillars of values. And that's how I live my day every day, is with a value system to do the right thing.
It's amazing. We love what you're doing. And we're going to pass this straight over to Bo.
Well, hello everyone. I am Bo Casamarina from Marasol People and Marasol People magazine. And basically Marasol People comes from the idea of creating not only genderless product solutions and brands, but also safe spaces inside of retail. You know, and that comes from trying to understand the DNA of the retailers and trying to create products that are inviting both for, you know, the audience as well for, you know, everyone in the business to, you know, push a message of inclusivity.
Wow. That's what's up.
Welcome to the stream, guys. Let's pass it over to Garky.
Wow, that was what's up. Okay, Rob and Bo, I'd love to hear from both of you a little bit of the story behind what inspired you to start the Phluid Project and Matters Help People. Bo, where did you come from? And Rob, what inspired the decision to focus on gender-free clothing? First, we're going to go with Bo.
Yes, actually, alongside Alessandra Gold, who is the co-creative director and founder of Matters Help People, the idea and the name comes actually from that 70s movie, The Network, where in the very, very intense speech, the climax of it is when the TV host urges people to go out to the windows, stick their heads out and scream, "I am mad as hell and I'm not gonna take this anymore." And pretty much on that call of action is where we reside. You know what I mean? With everything that has happened these last couple of years, with everything that's going on right now with the world, I feel like it is important that we create a space, a brand, and even a magazine, an outlet where people can share their voices, share their story, and empower each other.
Wow, beautiful. I love it. I love it.
Great quote from a great movie, too.
Yes, seriously. I love it. And Rob, what inspired the decision to focus on gender-free clothing?
You know, it was 30 years in retail. I worked for Macy's, Victoria's Secret, Nike, and Levi's, and had an amazing career. But then I also had a nighttime job, which is raising critical funds for at-risk youth, especially LGBTQIA+ youths. And so there was a moment I just decided to, I probably shouldn't say this, but after my first Burning Man, there's a saying, don't ever quit your job after your first Burning Man. And I came back and I'm like, I'm out. I'm done. So I gotta have to do my own thing. So I took a trip around the world. And on that journey, the Phluid Project was born. This idea that I wrote down, consider opening a gender-free, non-binary shopping environment and called Phluid in quotation marks. And I thought, like, yeah, that's what I'll do. Like, I'll take what I love to do and I'm really good at doing, I'll put it together and create this new idea. And it became the world's first gender-free store. And it says a lot in the name. So Phluid is the ability to navigate between two spaces easily. And the pH represents balance. And the idea that when we have balance in ourselves, you know, so much of what we're taught when we're young is this is the way boys are, this is the way girls are. And you're so limited in how you can actually grow to be your authentic self. So I'm trying to create safe spaces, like Bo mentioned, whether it's in retail or in corporate America with our training program, just to create safe spaces for people to be who they want to be curious, be playful. Like I painted my nails today. I mean, that I guess I'm not supposed to because I'm a man. But I was like, who the hell cares? Like, do what you want to do, and we should all celebrate the authenticity of every single person.
Exactly.
And say, hell yeah, you do you, you know, you do
Have
you.
fun,
Exactly.
live your life.
Absolutely.
Live
Exactly.
your life.
I love it.
Yeah.
I
And
love
I
it.
got to tell you one really cool thing. I was looking at the best sellers at right now at Zoomies and what t-shirts are selling best for us. And the best selling t-shirt is trans rights are human rights. So that just shows that consumers are saying, hell yeah, trans rights are human rights. There are over 120 bills in 33 states that are anti-trans. So your guests, your consumers are saying, we're fighting back. Besides voting, yeah, too many, exactly. And also, there's gender as a social construct, which is really a powerful statement, is a construct passed down to us. And then homophobia and transphobia can be cured by education is one of our other bestsellers. So, you know, we love to educate people through the things we put on shirts and sweatshirts and stuff like that.
Well,
Exactly.
Rob, while I
Love
have
it.
you, while we have you in thought, so I read in a recent interview that you like to think of the Phluid project as the intersection of retail, fashion, activism, education, and community, and you just kind of touched on that education a little bit.
Yeah.
You also said it's important to start intersectional conversations that include race, ability, and body size, in addition to sexual and gender identities. I'm a small guy, so I'm a very small guy, so I'm super.
You got a huge personality. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You really do.
Can you expand a little bit on what intersectionality is exactly and why it's so important?
I like to say so much of our lives we have to check boxes. We're this box or this box, right? Where you're like, you're black or you're white or you're gay or you're straight, whatever. There's all these like boxes we check. Younger people are saying, okay, I'll check this box, but I'm also checking this box and this box. And there's so many boxes. Nobody's going to shove a young person to a corner and say, you have to be this way and act this way. And they're saying, just like Bo said, I'm mad as hell not to take it anymore. Like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not playing by your rules anymore. It's a bunch of BS. And I get to be who I want to be, identify how I want to identify. And it's really cool. Like, just, I get so inspired by young people because we are not binary in our identities. We're not strictly just one person, one sexual orientation. We're so complex in all of these. And so when you go to Phluid's website and you look at who the models are, we really embrace representation, visibility, you know, folks who would not normally be recognized as models because of their gender identity, gender expression, body size, or ability, their age. So yeah, we find a place for every single person at the Phluid Project, and we celebrate you, who you are, as long as you're your authentic self.
So with that being said, if you could go back in time and talk to yourself when you're considering yourself, you know, young and youthful, what would you say to yourself then?
Well, it's funny because a big part of creating the Phluid Project is actually going back and making my younger self proud, because I was a pretty creative, played with dolls. I was gay as hell, you know, as a kid, and my dad was a professional football player. But what I would go back and say, hey, I hope I made you proud by creating the Phluid Project. Yeah,
That's absolutely. Oh,
and you can be whoever
amazing.
you want to be. Yeah, don't let anybody tell you what you can do or not do. You do what you do. You do
Exactly. I love that. Exactly. I do.
Let's pass it over to you, Garfield.
Thank you. My bad. I really do love that. I had to take that in for a minute. So Bo, I hear that you and Madison People just launched a magazine. Can you tell us about the first issue and where we can find it?
Oh, that is correct. Yes, we just launched the first issue. As I mentioned earlier, the whole idea with Marisol People is to create a voice and power, and also create a space for people to like see themselves, you know. And you can see that reflected on our first issue, which is all about pride, right here. And it's about a sentiment and a whole campaign that we created together with the Phluid Project called "The Future is Inclusive." So with this sentiment, we actually, to celebrate the 52 years of the anniversary of the Stonewall riots and the beginning of the gay liberation movement and pride movement, you know, we wanted to bring forth the talent of the people that we have in our community 52 years later. You know, people that reflect the intentions of the amazing people like Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera, you know, and their part in this whole movement, and as well as people from nowadays that are still inspiring us, that we can finally see now transgender representation on TV, non-binary representation in the music industry. As a non-binary person myself, my pronouns are they, them, he, she, and I do believe that it's very important, as Rob was saying, not only create, but continue to expand and perpetuate these spaces. If I can just flip through here really quick and give you guys a little preview.
Of course, of
Please
course.
do.
Through it, you will see amazing people from all
I love it.
backgrounds.
That is so dope. I love it.
And they're all modeling their best selves, as well as sporting some of the new accessories by the Phluid project. Some of them, of course, are available at zoomies.com.
And I'm sure you guys are having an absolute blast doing this. Like it looks so much fun. Like you guys are having fun.
Exactly.
Definitely.
I love it.
Very, very rewarding.
We get to do stuff that like people would say not to my whole life, and now I get to, you know, my mission statement is to challenge boundaries with humanity. So I challenge everything, and I say, screw that. You know, let's try it a different way. You know, why does it have to be this way? And it's so much fun to be a disruptor, but in a positive way. You know, to do things and break this construct we've been given for thousands of years to say, this is how things are. We're like, no, never. They're never always the way they are. We're in a constant state of unlearning and relearning. And I think we're doing an incredible job the last 2 years of really starting to first, you know, understand the social justice around race. And now we're leading into gender identity versus sexual orientation, which people tend to clump together, say, oh, you're queer, right? So that means you have sex with this person. Like, no, it also has to do with your identity, you know, and so it's so much more than who your intimate relationships are with. And also, just because you wear a skirt does not mean you want to have an intimate relationship with somebody of the same gender, or, you know, how you identify. People just like, we got to separate all of that, your identity from your orientation and your expression, and just let people be people.
Exactly. I love it.
We know that you guys have all kinds of things going on right now. And we know that Pride Month is obviously probably a very busy month for both of you, all of you, and your brands. But the work to empower, uplift, and just give a voice to your communities, it doesn't end in July. We can't imagine.
No.
What is coming up,
Okay.
Rob? What is coming up, Bo? What are we working on in the coming months that we need to keep an eye out for?
I got to tell you, first, and thank you, because the way that Zoomies approached Phluid was not to do a Pride collection and then be gone. It was like, no, let's start off with some really cool styles and we'll continue to build it. And I love that about the way you approached it, because it wasn't about like, oh, one and done. And so I'm super grateful for the way the team addressed it. I'll tell you what I'm excited about. We're launching in in the fall. The green label. It's a fully sustainable, upcycled, dead stock, gender-free collection that's earth-friendly and ethically produced, and we're launching that at a couple other retailers in the mall. So I'm really excited about the evolution of the brand as it evolves to all things important to young people.
That's absolutely amazing. And I'm sure you guys are having so much fun doing that. If it's okay, Bo, may I pass it over to you?
Absolutely, yes. We have been going crazy, partially alongside Rob here with so many projects. And we're excited about the next issue for Might As Well People magazine that will be coming out this September. But also about our clothing line, our lifestyle and accessories line that we have coming up, where we are actually opening lines of collaboration with very well-established designers and artists that have been spearheading their industries and bringing them into the gender-neutral realm and creating solutions for that gap that we find in the industry. And with that said, we're just very, very excited to start bringing that to the forefront and continuing to...
The horizons are broadening horizons.
Can I share?
Broadening our horizons.
Yes, thanks.
Can I share
please.
one more thing? Just The one thing that I found, and not to pick on anybody, but every corporation gives to the Trevor Project when they give to the Pride and stuff like that. So I launched the Phluid Foundation, which is a foundation that takes money and gives it to the grassroots organization that are supporting in local communities trans women of color and homeless queer youth who are the most at risk in our community. So happy to say last month raised $200,000 to give to organizations, and if we give $5,000 to an organization, it's gonna be game changing. So yeah, anyways, I didn't want to take away from Trevor Project. They're awesome, but I think there's so many other ways to get money into the communities doing the work and saving lives as well. So I'm excited about launching that, and that's
Broadening
something
the
I'm really excited
horizon.
about.
That's beautiful.
That's
That is
awesome.
beautiful.
We love it. So last year we had an absolutely blockbuster election. The results, which had pretty far-reaching consequences across a lot of different communities. How do you both think about voting and its potential to impact the communities that you're involved in? We'll start with Rob.
First of all, if you don't vote, you're an asshole. That's all I can say. I mean, just like stop it. Like, we're seeing voter increase continue to rise, which is great.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
sometimes people forget about local elections. In New York, we had our elections, and I know our city council member. Like, I know local elections because people underestimate how important local elections are. And if you think about all of those anti-trans bills that are happening, they're happening at the local level. And so you can use your vote to vote people out who are doing shitty things and really just attacking vulnerable groups of people. So yeah, vote because it's the right thing to do. Vote because you can make a difference. Think about how narrow some people have won and lost. And if some people just got off their keister and voted, certain people wouldn't have been in the office at best. I'll stop there.
There's a benefit to it. Bo, I'm going to ask you the exact same question. Rob, thank you for that. How do you think about voting and its potential to impact the communities that you're involved in?
Well, this is a very, very important question, especially I cannot tell you the possibilities of what could happen. I actually being born in a third world country, I've seen the results of once the people are not motivated to vote and what could happen. Throughout Latin America, now we're seeing lots of governments now overthrowing democracy in a very slight way, and that might be an extreme that we may think we may be far from, but we may always remember that every time we have an opportunity to use our voice, we should, because there are countless people around the world that do not have it, and your participation should not only count for voting, also for activities like Pride, also for activities that reflect your intentions, because by participating in these things and making these things bigger and more visible, then we're giving everybody else that doesn't have this opportunity and a hope, something that some of us wish we had growing up, whether we come from indigenous backgrounds or very, very twisted political situations where you are persecuted for being the way you are. So we need to really see how important it is to have voices here in this country.
We love y'all's insights. It's fantastic. Get up, guys. Vote. As Rob said best. Don't be an asshole.
I love it.
Don't be an asshole. Let's pass it over to Garfield.
All right, guys. I have one last
T-shirt. Let's make that a T-shirt. Don't be an asshole. Go vote.
Don't be an asshole.
Don't. I got one last question. Both of you and the brands you are behind are very inspiring and making a real impact. What advice would you give to our audience to stand up for what matters to them? I'm gonna start with Bo.
Yes, there is a lot to be done, but I think everything starts, first of all, with you. If you have the courage to make yourself more visible and more, call yourself attention into raising up the conversations that really matter to your community, whether it be about voting, whether it be about LGBTQIA plus rights, whether it be about Black Lives Matters, about anything that is really affecting you, your community, and not only you and your community, but those people that are in different shoes than you. we tend to believe that because they are different than us, they are not going through something, and that it is not possible for them, and hard for us to understand. So I think it's very important that we put ourselves in each other's shoes.
I love it. I love that
Very
answer.
well
What
put.
about you, Rob?
Beautiful. I would just say, first of all, we all need to start to practice humanity. We've lost that, I think. I believe that we should learn and listen, and spend a lot less time talking and listening more and learning, and then figuring out how we can help underrepresented people, at-risk people. Like, what work can I do? Though I have nothing to do with the trans women of color, is almost the extremes opposites, but that's where I'm, dedicating most of my work is to trans women of color who live to be 35 years old in this country. So there's so much to be done, and you can't fix it all, but you can follow the brands that do good things. You can spend money with brands that are doing good work. You can do the research, and every single action that you do has a reaction, and push towards positive versus negative.
Wow. I love it. Beautiful. I'm gonna pass it on to Alex. Wow.
Rob, Bo, we're accomplishing so many things, and we're moving towards some big goals, and we're crushing some major goals in the process. Our time is coming to an end. I just wanted to open it up for you guys. Is there anything that either of you want to share with our audience? And we're gonna have a little fun with this. Speak freely. Have fun.
That's good. Well, if you want us to have fun, let me just start. First of all, thank you everyone for watching and supporting this awesome live stream. Please find us in some of our awesome slides, like the they them slides that you can see right here on Zoomies and zoomies.com. And also visit us at marasolpeople.com and on Instagram at marasolpeople. And since you said have fun and go crazy, I want to give a shout out to local hometown hero, an amazing artist, Chloe Martini. A picture over here wearing one of her activist dresses that says, "Trans rights are human rights." I wanted to give her a little shout out from the Marasol People team. We love you, Chloe. Alessandra Gold, the genius behind all of this, and the entire team that we have here and overseas. Thank you, guys.
Let's pass it over to Rob.
Gosh, I would say, same as Bo, follow the Phluid Project on TikTok, and it's Phluid Project TikTok and the Phluid Project on Instagram. You will be entertained and educated, and it's just pure joy, pure joy. I'd also say check out our fragrance collection at Sephora.com, which is pretty cool. It's amazing scents, and just just follow us, like us, make comments. The algorithms at Instagram doesn't like us. Will never let us boost a post because we're activists, because we're standing up for the things that are right, and we can't beat the algorithm or but if we get enough people behind us to follow us and to comment, people will start to get more and more visibility of our brand. But we have been suffocated by Facebook and Instagram and our ability to reach more people.
Well, we wish you guys the best of luck. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining us on Stand Up TV. Happy Pride Month. Let's give it a round of applause for Pride Month. That's awesome. Please come back soon. We would love to see you again. We would love it. You can find both the Phluid Project and Mad as Hell People at Zoomies. Click the Twitch banner below this stream to check out their product on zoomies.com. Let's get it going. Garfield.
Well, we'll be right back with this month's community highlight. All right, everyone? Woo!
go.
Boom. What's up, everyone? We put the word out on Discord in a little while back that we want to hear how you're standing up in your communities. We heard from a bunch of you, but today we decided to feature a story from one of you who is standing up for their environment in your school. I'm gonna pass it on to Alex.
Toasty on Discord is a big climate change activist and created a green team at their school. They give presentations, spread awareness of the issue, and work to remove plastic and any other non-biodegradable packaged items from our cafe. Toasty was unable to join us today, so we're sorry that we missed you, but we get the chance to ask them a few questions about why they are standing up for the climate and the environment.
Yes, Tosty's friend was the spark. Sorry. A little over 2 years ago, the friend who loves camping, hiking, and the outdoors in general asked Toasty if they would still buy plastic bottles from our cafeteria. They realized that they weren't even thinking about what they could be doing to help the environment. Something clicked. And from then on, they just started thinking about what they could be replacing in their everyday life to help the environment.
Toasty, you're awesome. We've got the full conversation with Toasty on the Discord in the Beyond Stand Up TV channel. Head there after the stream to hear more of Toasty's stories, tips on how to start your own green team, because you probably should, and simple everyday things you can do to help the environment. It's important. It keeps us going. What else do you have to say to Garfield?
Exactly. Thank you, Alex. Thanks, Toasty, for sharing your story. Toasty, for everyone else listening, we're looking for someone to feature on the next month's show, doing something cool for your community. Whatever it is, we want to hear about it. Post how you've been standing up for your community in the Stand Up TV channel on Discord. The chance to be featured and win a $500 Zoomies gift card. Come on. Share those stories.
Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, you heard right. $500. Guys, that's a wrap. I want to thank Camille, Rob, and Bo for taking the time to hang out with Garfield and myself. Thanks to Toasty for standing up for the environment in their community and sharing their story. Support everyone on their decisions that they're making. And thanks to all of you for tuning in, testing in your news knowledge. Shout out to the winners. Enjoy your gift cards. And realistically, thank you so much again for hanging out with us. The Stand Up TV will be live again on July 19th. Mark your calendars.
Boom. And don't forget, from the LGBTQ plus community to the environment, to just about anything you care about, you can impact all of it by voting, especially in local elections. Make sure you're registered and in the know about local elections in your state and your city. Head to www.rockthevote.org how to vote for information on elections in your state to stand up and vote.
Thank you so much, guys. Don't forget, stand up, get involved, keep voting. Your opinion matters. You have a voice. Use it. We hope to see you all on July 19th on our next stream with Stand Up TV. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you are.
Peace.